For the 4 states, Doug Heddy's going to have details on what we can expect and for how long. And we'll have the latest on a shooting tonight in Joplin. KOIM News at 10 is next.
Now at 10, we are tracking our next winter storm, and it could be a pretty big one. I'm going to have those details.
Plus, 4-staters stock up on supplies as that big storm approaches. And an organization in Oklahoma opens its doors to the homeless population ahead of the storm.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
It begins tonight. We're expecting a big snowstorm that'll begin within hours. This is KOIM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. Before tomorrow ends, many of us will be dealing with more snow than we've seen in years. Let's go straight to Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy for a first look.
Yeah, right now things are pretty calm, but the colder temperatures have been working in over the past couple hours, and the winds have been picking up, and that's another aspect of this winter storm. But winter storm warning goes in effect at 6 a.m. After midnight, some of us will start to get some very light snow showers, but this is going to be a slow mover to get going. It's not just going to roll in and be snowing heavily. Right now we have light snow along the I-70 corridor all the way back through Kansas, and then another little band kind of developing out toward Dodge City. This is fairly light snow, kind of slowly starts to populate the area after midnight, but if you wake up in the morning and you just have a dusting or a quarter of an inch, it's just because it takes this system a little time to get going. Upper teens, northern counties, mid-20s, and our central counties. As we go through the night, light snow showers kind of start to populate after midnight, but again, not really accumulating much. Here's 4 a.m. Areas north of I-44, you may have a half an inch at this point in time. And still, even by 7 or 8, this is when things will start to pick up just a little bit, but still most of us will be under an inch by 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. Then the accumulation rates start to go up as we approach the noon hour, and then our heaviest snow moves through really between about noon and 6 or 7 p.m. during the evening. Also temperatures, notice, single digits, lower teens. Here's 6:30 p.m. and then finally the snow will start to push out. It's moving in a little later than what we had first anticipated, and moving out a little bit later. We're still going to go 9 to 13, closer to kind of 9 or 10 southeastern Kansas. If we have any isolated higher amounts, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, it's probably going to be right along that I-44 corridor as we get into tomorrow evening. So high snow impacts, not much ice. High cold, high wind. We're going to talk more about these two coming up here in just a bit.
All right, see you soon. As the storm approaches, people across the 4 states have been stocking up on supplies. A number of stores have been busy today, including hardware stores and pharmacies, as people rush to get what they need while they still can.
It's the calm before the storm, and it's not very calm in here. Both stores probably got 3 dozen sleds, and every person I've seen, every group of people have been carrying sleds, so they won't last, much longer.
We have a shower drain that does not like when it gets real cold. So we're grabbing some stuff to try to keep that from freezing over the next few days.
Grocery stores around the area have been busy today as well. As you might expect, some people might be unable to get out of their home in the next day or two. A lot of places are going to be closed tomorrow. Many have already made the announcement this evening. Freeman Health System announced its urgent care, both Joplin and Webb City locations, will be closed. And as you might imagine, many school districts have canceled classes for tomorrow. To see a longer list of closings, just scan this QR code. You'll find school, government, church closings, and more. The QR code will take you straight to the closing page of our website, and once you're there, you can also find instructions on how to submit other closings. You can also get the latest road conditions and power outages across the area anytime through this QR code. It'll direct you to links on our website, KOIMnewsnow.com, for information for each of the 4 states in our viewing area. Some populations are more vulnerable to the bitterly cold weather because of a lack of resources. KOIM's Melissa Alexis has more on how a nonprofit is helping the unhoused stay warm.
It got so cold I had ice in my tent.
Just last winter,
Patricia Millard had no place to go during the cold winter months.
I spent all last winter in a tent with a broken tibia bone.
She also didn't have access to consistent meals.
Where I was staying at, I had to walk about 7-8 miles one way to get meals.
Patricia says during the cold temperatures, there aren't many options for unhoused people to stay warm.
People stay in storm drains, they stay in ditches, under tarps, laying, just flat on the ground under a tarp.
But a year later, this winter is different. Patricia says that's thanks to the Oklahoma Emergency Response Team in Miami providing shelter.
It's nice to know that I don't have to worry about somebody coming up and trying to steal my belongings or trying to attack me when I'm sleeping.
Rick Aldridge is part of the Oklahoma Emergency Response Team. He says he wants to help keep unhoused people off the streets during the winter weather. The nonprofit provides meals, shelter, winter clothes, and other necessities.
A lot of folks that are out there that are just trying to rough it a little bit. We're just concerned with the amount of snow that we're going to be getting, the temperatures we're going to be getting. So we're kind of gearing up just in case we get those people that do want to come in. We'll have bed space and everything for them.
One of his concerns are unhoused people exposed to the extreme temperatures and the effects those dangerous temps can have on their health.
I have a concern of frostbite. That's very dangerous. As you know, you're going to wind up losing that limb or whatever it is. So we're very concerned because a lot of our folks that are out there are not properly dressed.
Froze to death in the van. I've known a lot of people that's lost fingers and toes because of frostbite, because they just can't stay warm enough. I mean, you can only layer up so much, You can wrap tarps around it, you can put blankets on and all that, but it's not going to keep you warm enough. You have to have some heat.
And her message to anyone who's in the same position she was in last winter:
you need to come in, you need to get out of the cold, you need to have a hot meal, and this is the place to come.
Reporting in Miami, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
That nonprofit is on Main Street in Miami, and they're in need of donations like boots, gloves, and hats. Students at MSSU get dressed up for success thanks to some generous donations. Their story's coming up, but up first, Joplin police discover a man with multiple gunshot wounds tonight. We're going to have the latest from the scene. Some breaking news in Joplin tonight as authorities investigate a shooting incident. KOAM's Shannon Becker has the latest.
It was about 6:30. Reports of gunfire here in the 800 block of South Florida. Joplin police have the parking lot here at the apartment complex blocked off as they're gathering evidence. Joplin police tell us a male suffered gunshot wounds in the parking lot and was transported to an area hospital with non-life-threatening gunshot wounds. They say there's no further threat to the public, and they're talking to others that were possibly involved. For now, Joplin police continue their investigation as they're inside the building and also outside here in the parking lot. On South Florida, I'm Shannon Becker, KOAM News Now, Joplin News First.
You can find more details about this story as they become available on our website. Again, that is KOAMnewsnow.com. 17 people are hurt after a Delta Airlines plane flipped over while landing at Toronto's airport this afternoon. A child is among the injured. Wendy Gillette has the latest.
We just landed. Our plane crashed. It's upside down.
John Nelson posted this video on social media just after the crash that captured the scary and surreal scene.
Everybody, most people appear to be okay.
Flight attendants and passengers helped others on board crawl out of the upside-down aircraft. Medical helicopters and ambulances quickly responded. Firefighters sprayed down the plane right after it crashed. Delta Flight 4819 was operated by Endeavour Air en route to Toronto from Minneapolis. The airline says 76 passengers and 4 crew were on board.
There was no loss of life. And this is in due part to our heroic and trained professionals, our first responders at the airport.
The airport was shut down for several hours, but then resumed operations. Delta canceled all flights to Toronto for the remainder of the night. Weather could have played a factor in the accident. At the time, there were wind gusts of 40 miles per hour and blowing snow from 2 feet that fell in the past week.
Having flown in Toronto many times, it is challenging with the winter conditions. You have to be on top of icing situations, both for the runway, also for the aircraft. They're going to be looking at wind shears, possibly anything that could actually have turned the aircraft over like that.
The Transportation Safety Board of Canada will lead the investigation, with U.S. teams assisting. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
Delta has activated its Passenger Inquiry Center for the families of those on board. Donations are being collected to help Missouri Southern students get ready for their future careers. The Career Services Office at the university is collecting professional clothing items for the Dress to Impress event. That's going to be on February 26th. Students can receive items like slacks, blazers, dresses, and shoes. Now, since this event started more than a decade ago, organizers have collected more than 20,000 garments, helped more than 3,000 students prepare for the future.
When they walk out of Dress to Impress with 10 to 15 garments of clothing that are brand new, ready to help them in their job interview or in their career, the confidence and enthusiasm that they have knowing that even as simple as a professional outfit to walk into a job interview boosts their confidence.
Clothing donations are being accepted until February 24th. Organizers say they also need volunteers in the days ahead of and during the event. You can learn more on how to help on our website, again, KOIMnewsnow.com. Enrollment in Joplin for the 2025-26 school year. Today, forms are open on joplinschools.org/kindergarten. Families with students who will be 5 years old before August 1st of this year and who live within district boundaries are eligible to attend Joplin Schools kindergarten programs. For school staff at Irving Elementary, well, they can't wait to welcome in the next class of Little Eagles.
For the parents, they're just going to have a lot of paperwork to do. For the kid, it's a really exciting time. They get to go to the big school. They get to have classmates and peers. About half of our students usually don't have an early learning experience, and so this could be their very first time in a structured environment.
The Joplin School District says that during the pre-enrollment and screening process, eligibility for transitional kindergarten will also be determined. A little bit later, KOIM unfurls another Great American Flag Swap event. We'll have details coming up.
And of course, I'm going to give you all the latest details of the new data that has come in on our winter storm moving in by morning. Well, of course, the clouds thickened up all afternoon. We did go well into the 30s, but temperatures have been slowly dropping and the winds have really been picking up over the past couple hours out of the northeast, kind of ushering in that cooler air. So our temperature is continuing to drop. Nice shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Winter storm warning in effect. Entire region for us, really starting tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Not a whole bunch happens tonight. We just slowly get rolling. Northeasterly winds kicking in 20 upwards to 30. Now, to get a blizzard warning, we're going to have gusts over 35 pretty frequently. We're going to stay below that, but still, it's going to be windy enough that visibilities are going to drop tomorrow, and we're going to get the blowing and the drifting of snow. Winds gusting 20 to 25 all day long, and even after the snow is done by Wednesday morning, we're still going to have drifting of snow because the winds are going to be moving around, and the snow is going to be very dry, very powdery. It's not a wet snow, so it's not a snowman type of snow. All right, wind chill factors, another big factor. By tomorrow afternoon, wind chills, the way it feels, -5 to -15 in our northern counties. These drop to about -20 to -25 by Wednesday morning, and they stay below zero all day long on Wednesday. Because our temperatures are now below freezing, at best, we're not going to get above freezing until Saturday. So that means go ahead and start dripping your faucets, because with extreme temperatures, you definitely don't want a broken pipe in your house. All right, light snow along and north by 70 up toward Kansas City, and you can see light snow starting to pick up west of Wichita. So this is slowly going to push in, slowly increase toward dawn. But whatever happens tonight is going to be very light. Just kind of very small flakes, just kind of blowing around, not really accumulating much. Here's 4 a.m. Light snow north of I-44, but again, very light. So by 7 or 8 o'clock, if you're popping out of bed, you're probably not going to see much on the ground. It could be a dusting, maybe a 1/4 of an inch, maybe a 1/2 inch. But after about 8, 9 a.m., snow rates start to pick up a little bit. So by the noon hour, we could have a couple inches. And then from noon to about 7 or 8 p.m., we should see about 1 inch per hour. And that's pretty heavy snow. Bands of snow stick around a little bit longer. Earlier today, it looked like it'd be gone by 9, and we're still into moderate snow by 9 p.m. Really doesn't get out of here until about midnight. So it starts about 3 hours later. It ends about 3 hours later. All right, snowfall potential. Most of us, excluding northern counties, far southern counties, 19 to 13, or 9 to 13, 9 to 13. Mainly 9 or 10 on the Kansas side, but along that I-44 corridor, those are going to be the areas that have a better chance of getting 10, 11, 12, 13, maybe 14 inches. Road conditions, a little tricky in the morning, and then get bad, mid to late morning. And then really, if you don't have to, don't be on the roads at all, especially once we get into the afternoon. Alert days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, due to snow and the extreme cold, most likely record lows by Thursday morning. And again, like I said, we don't get above freezing until Saturday.
Yeah, so the snow's going to be around for a while.
It's not going anywhere.
And honestly, there's a point where if it's a few inches below or above a foot, it's irrelevant.
It doesn't matter.
It's impassable. You need to stay home.
I agree.
Thanks, Doug. Hey, don't forget, you can be the first to know about today's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. You can get the severe weather updates sent straight to your phone. It doesn't cost anything. You might as well download it right now. You'll find it in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, also through this QR code. It's the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Still ahead, 3 Pittsburgh Purple Dragons signed to play college football, and the 7th-ranked Missouri Southern baseball hosts Missouri S&T. John Dales has those stories and more. It's coming up next in sports.
It's an exciting Monday at Pittsburgh High School as 3 of the leaders for the Purple Dragon football team from the past several years are officially headed to the next level. 3 Pittsburgh High School seniors signed their national letters of intent this afternoon to play college football. TJ Wesley will be in the MIAA at Washburn University. Connor Profit signs with Coffeyville Community College. And Nate Mitchell is also headed to the KJCCC with Dodge City Community College.
It's definitely cool considering we played together 12 years of our life. We've been around each other all the time, and to see each other, everyone have success and go do what we wanted to do our whole life. It's cool.
Man, it all started when I first picked up the football. I've been grinding since then, just nonstop. It takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of effort, it took a lot of time.
To put it into words, it'd be Dragon Nation. It's something crazy. Like the people the alumni from here, they love this place like it's their own mother, and that's how it should be treated at all times. Pittsburgh Dragons, that's everything. That's everything for me. No matter what sport it is, no matter what it is, the Dragons, that's home.
Missouri Southern baseball is back at home this afternoon for their final tune-up before conference play gets started this Friday. 7th-ranked Missouri Southern baseball with a non-conference game against Missouri S&T to get the week started. Casey Stalzer gets the start on the mound, and he's rolling early. Gets a strikeout looking at the top of the second, then a swinging strikeout in the third. We're scoreless in the fourth. S&T with a runner on, trying to advance on a high pitch, but Chayton back fires a missile to second, and he gets him out. Then Stalzer gets a backwards K to end the inning. He goes 6 1/3, allows just 1 run. Lions took a while to heat up at the plate, though. Here's Beck. We saw him behind the plate. Here he is smacking a single into left field in the 6th, but he gets stranded there. Then, bottom of the 7th, Will Doherty up at the plate, and he bounces one over to the second baseman, who has a little bit of trouble on the exchange, and Doherty beats out the throw to first. Lions trailed 2-0, but they score 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning. They win it 3-2. Webb City girls basketball back in the Cardinal Dome, playing host to the winless Parkview Vikings. On the opening tip-off, Cardinals set the tone. Adeline Maxwell gets it and passes to Abby Sargent, who drives in for the easy layup just seconds into this one. Not much later, skip pass snagged out of the air by Sargent. On the other end, she finishes what she started, top of the key, and that's good for 3 points. Webb City up by 12, and we're only in the first quarter. Vikings trying to claw back into it, but Addie Burns with a big-time block and a 3-point try. Then just before halftime, Sargent finds an open Chastity Brown. She sinks the corner triple. Never really close to begin with. Webb City takes down Parkview 68-25. Lady Cardinals win their third in a row. And on the high school basketball front, we already know no games tomorrow. Wednesday, likely the same. Thursday is kind of going to be that first opportunity for us to see some of our teams back in action. They've already had games postponed until Thursday.
Yeah, and of course they'll have to play it by ear and see what happens then, I suppose.
Exactly.
We'll be right back. KOIM's first flag swap of 2025 took place today at Roper Honda in Joplin. People could come out, swap their tattered old flags for brand new ones. This way to give something to the community, express some national pride. Check our website for the next flag swap day. There will be others this year. In the meantime, you're going to want to keep it right here because Doug's going to keep us posted on the weather.
Yeah, absolutely. So very light snow until dawn, but there could be some minor accumulations, meaning under about a ½ inch, especially on the Kansas side by dawn. Accumulations slowly pick up through the morning, but things really get moving once we get close to that noon hour. Prior to noon, we may not have more than 1 to 3 inches, and then heavier amounts start to move in. The heaviest snow looks to be along the I-44 corridor, where we could get more than 10 or 11 inches. But I think on average, most of us kind of 9, 10, or 11. And then we have the extreme cold, a high of only 11 on Wednesday, -9, which should set a record on Thursday morning. So alert days, next 3 days, plus the wind. So blowing and drifting of snow.
Thanks for nothing.
I know.
Final sports note.
Galena boys basketball wins again tonight against Riverton, so they stay undefeated. They're 18-0.
We do have a plan in place, our news and weather team, to keep you posted throughout the day tomorrow. We are going to get it done. We hope you stay with us and trust us to do that. Thanks for joining us. Be careful out there, and let's make it a great tomorrow.